morning, Bulldogs, and thank you for joining us. Today is Monday, October 13th. I'm Margaret Williams.
And I'm Colin Foster.
And you're watching Bulldog News live from Semmes Middle. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. You may be seated.
Next up, we'll take a look at our weather forecast for the week. Margaret, how's the weather looking?
Today we can expect sunny skies with a high of 81 degrees and a low of 59 degrees. Colin, what's on the menu for lunch today?
For lunch today, we'll be having pizza, broccoli, corn, fruit, and your choice of milk.
That sounds great.
Now let's take a look at what's happening this week around our school and our office news.
Students, Friday, October 24th, we will be taking yearbook pictures. You will need to wear your school uniform that day.
And JHS students, you will be having a meeting in the library this Friday, October 17th.
Students, there will be no tutoring this week. Please let your parents know.
Teachers and students, the book fair starts today. Students can be sent 2nd period through 7th period to the shop. Today will be 6th grade, tomorrow will be 7th grade, and Wednesday will be 8th grade, and Thursday and Friday for all grades.
Students, Kona Ice will be back Tuesday, October 21st during your PE period.
Now we would like to announce this year's peer helpers.
6th grade peer helpers are Kinsley Bowles, Charlie Coates, Hazley Hall, and Brian McCoy.
The 7th grade peer helpers are Randall Elliott, Samantha Gatewood, Isaiah Agee Rouser, and Vanessa Weekly.
The 8th grade peer helpers are Hartley Rollins, Brianna Schrader, Madison Taylor, and Ayanna Whittle.
Students, please remember the following things. Your phone must be locked in your yonder pouch before entering school, and no eating or drinking in the hallways, and no energy drinks at school. Now,
Ms. Miller with an administrator update.
Good morning, Semmes Bulldogs. Miss Miller here with an update for you guys. I have a couple of announcements I want to make. The attendance challenge, we saw last week that 7th grade was winning by just a little bit on that attendance challenge. But remember, every week starts a new week, and it is the greatest percentage of students that are here all day, every day. So 6th grade, 8th grade, let's see if we can be on top this week with our attendance challenge. And at the end of the month, whoever wins the attendance challenge gets to dress out in bright neon colors for Shining Bright for attendance. So let's work hard and make sure that we're here all day, every day. Also, just a quick reminder about food and drinks in the hallways, boys and girls. We do not want to see you eating and drinking during transitions in the hallways. It leaves a mess that we have to pick up. So if we do see you eating or drinking in the hallways, we're going to take that food from you, and we're going to have to throw it away. Also, energy drinks. We are not to have energy drinks here on campus. Those, number one, are not good for you, and secondly, are not what we permit here when we are asking you to bring clear water bottles with water in them. Also, one other thing that's really exciting that's going to be going on this week, at the end of the week, we are going to have a teacher versus student volleyball game on Friday. And with that being said, we are going to start selling tickets for that tomorrow and Wednesday. You can buy your tickets during your lunch wave. They're going to be $5 a piece. So if you would like to come watch some students and teachers play volleyball against one another, come buy your ticket during your lunch wave and come out and watch us. Also, just want to make sure that you have a great rest of your week and work hard in anything that your teachers ask you to do. It's the end of the quarter, so let's go Bulldogs.
Now let's switch gears and check out what's going on with our SMS sports. Colin, get us up to date with sports.
Girls softball trials will be held today and tomorrow from 3 o'clock to 4:30. Your Dragonfly account should be already complete.
6th grade girls Tiny Bike softball tryouts will be held today, October 13th and 14th, as well from 5 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. Your hard copy physical will be due at 4:50.
Boys baseball tryouts will be November 17th for 7th grade and November 18th for 8th grade. The first cuts will be made November 19th. November 20th and 21st will be callbacks for the 7th and 8th graders who made the first cut. All Dragonfly information needs to be complete along with your $5 fee to coach herring. Trials are closed to the public.
Students, we are now collecting the $5 baseball tryout fee. 7th graders can turn in their money to Miss Bryant, room 708, and 8th graders should give theirs to Mr. Jordan in room 810. The deadline to pay the fee is Wednesday, November 12th.
That's all we have in the news for today. Students, make sure you wear the proper uniform daily and cuff your badge to shirt at all times.
Remember, our motto is seeking excellence in everything we do.
Have a marvelous Monday, students, faculty, and staff.